ADHD Babes, the podcast, a podcast hosted by the ADHD Babes community for the community. Please note, nothing mentioned during the podcast is meant as a diagnosis. If you believe you have ADHD, please seek professional advice and visit or join ADHDBabes.com for help with diagnosis. No clinical diagnosis is required to join. And now, you're listening to the next episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast. Today's episode is hosted by me, Anna Ramos, and by ChiChi Enu. Hi, ChiChi. Do you want to welcome
Hi,
yourself?
everyone. Nice to meet you. And today we're going to be discussing meditation and ADHD. We'll discuss the challenges and opportunities for exploring your thoughts, well-being, and how it can be useful for us ADHD babes.
Amazing. So joining in on this discussion today, we are joined by Amethyst, which is one of our members of the ADHD Babes, and also Gladys. Welcome both.
Hi, thank you. It's lovely to be here.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's lovely to have you to come today to discuss this topic, which is super important for all of us. So, what is meditation? So, according to the mindfulness app, Headspace, meditation isn't about becoming a different person, a new person, or even a better person. It's about training in awareness and getting a healthy sense of perspective. You're not trying to turn off your thoughts or feelings. You're learning to observe them without judgment. And eventually you may start to better understand them as well. So when I think of meditation, I always think about, going into a quiet room, putting an alarm on for like 10 seconds, and blocking everything out so that you have that time for yourself, no interruptions, no nothing. Sometimes I may put something in the background as a guidance, so that it gives me the instructions of breathe in, breathe out, zoom in, zoom out, think of the sea, it's like a prompt, so you can like get into that. What are your immediate thoughts, ChiChi?
Well, it's interesting because, I'm somebody who's meditated for many years, like over 15 years. And there's the idea, I think there's the popular idea of meditation as like somebody sitting cross-legged, like, and looking very beautiful and like still. And there's my meditation, which is very like lying in the bed, like maybe sitting up, and it's dark. I usually set an alarm for like around 30 minutes. And a lot of that 30 minutes is just me trying to relax my body and listen to my thoughts. And yeah, there's a lot going on in my head. And at first, when I first started meditating, for many years, I thought I was doing it wrong. But now I just accept, like, as long as I feel like rested and kind of like, okay, like something is happening. And the big difference for me in meditation, like, it wasn't until I started taking my ADHD stimulant med in like 2004. So 2024, I've been meditating since
Amazing.
2009. And for many years, I couldn't, like, I was just like frozen in my body, trying so hard. And then I take my stimulant med, I take Adderall, and it was like, oh my God, this is how it feels to be in my body. How to relax in my body. So I definitely have personal experience with meditation, but I do think that term can be a little loaded, as in, like I'm doing it wrong, because I know I experienced that. So I just lie around and try to relax and listen to my thoughts and try to be still, but I'm never fully still in my body or mind, because I don't think I can do that. So it's okay. I just do what I can. Yeah, back to you.
Yeah, so Gladys, what do you remember, or what first came to your mind when you heard meditation?
For me, meditation, if we're going back many years ago, for me, it was something that I deemed as boring. something that I wasn't capable of doing, something that, I would put it in the same thing as like going for a walk in the park. So for me, walking the park was boring, and it just wasn't for me until I discovered meditation. And so now, and similar to what ChiChi said, it's for me now, it's about doing it what doing it in a way that aligns with your own style and your own values. And so for me, yeah, lying in my bed, having listening to like a meditation app where someone's talking and you've got the waterfall and you've got like the sound of rain, and someone's speaking in a like calm, slow voice. So for me now, that's what meditation is for me. It's basically being still, being calm, and having that kind of water kind of like sensation or fit or sound, or the rain, the sound of the rain, or so that's
Amazing. And how about you, Amethyst?
Yeah, I agree with everyone in terms of like, for me, it's also been a long journey. Like I've been doing different forms of meditation or like movement practice as well, stuff where you're like also like moving your body, which I think also if you are someone who has ADHD can be so useful, like to not just, it's great when you just lie down as well. Like I love like practices where you're lying down and like body scans, or just like almost being asleep or tapping in and out of sleep. But like also I love like ecstatic dance, so like somatic like body work. And then sometimes I feel like if I'm moving my body for like 2 hours, my brain clears, or things pass through in a way that like calms me down as well. Or like mantras, like I use like sound a lot as well. So I think it's been a lot of experimentation. And I think like that is the key message, like for me, because I also do like Reiki, I do like energy work. And I was doing a session for somebody like the other week, and it was an hour-long session, and it was two friends, and they were like, oh, I'm really not used to lying down and clearing my head. And I think, yeah, this is like the thing. People always come into meditation just thinking it's just about clearing your mind. Like still now people believe that, but I think it's more about being in your body, like that really. And I think it's so hard for many of us to be in our body because there's so much going on in life. And I think that is the main thing. It's about like a sense of peace, or like getting to a more peaceful state with yourself, and your breath as well, like remembering to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's actually a really great segue to the next question about the challenges practicing meditation with ADHD, because you touched on this a bit. So let's start with you, Amethyst.
Oh, the challenges. Yeah. I think it is that piece that like people think it's about cutting out thoughts, and sometimes that's just not that what's going on today. Or like people think it has to be one way, and so you end up like just getting more frustrated and more worked up instead of relaxing. I think that is like a big thing that people struggle with, or not knowing that you can like do movement, or like you can play with it until you find your practice that helps you calm yourself and be in your body, not out of your body.
Yeah.
Agreed. And so, and what about you, Gladys? Do you want to add anything to that around challenges? And thank you, Amethyst.
I think with me it was the main challenge was being calm and being in that calm state, and not, because with me it's been a real struggle with trying to get rid of those random thoughts that just come in, that remind you about dinner, or remind you about what you did last week, or remind you about what you said to somebody. So so that's been my main struggle, and is my main struggle. But it's gotten easier actually with medication, I would say, in that I don't have that as much as I did previously. So yeah.
Amazing. I still find it very, very difficult to meditate. I feel for some reason I find prayer a lot easier because I don't know.
You're
I just feel,
talking.
yeah, I feel
Yes.
like I'm connecting to something or someone, and then I'm talking. I'm talking, I'm talking. And whilst we're on medication, you're quiet, and you need to kind of like get into that state of concentration and focus. And having
Yeah.
ADHD combined, like I obviously have um lack of focus and hyperactivity. So I will start to think about anything else rather than the moment that I'm in. Yeah, oh my goodness. Oh, I remember I haven't paid that bill. Remember that time in 2020 something when that person said that to you and you was by that place and da 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 da. Remember what you said? And I'm like, oh my God, no, come back, come back, come back. So I still find it extremely, extremely difficult. In fact, I find it easier when it's in group.
Mm,
Because then I can actually then for some reason connect with the energy within the room, and it's like everybody's doing the same thing, so I'm focused, and I just find it so much easier when it's in a group. And I do it like once a week. Meditation, a group meditation through work. We do it at lunch break. We have someone who comes in and is amazing, it's lovely, and then when I do it, I just feel so refreshed. But when it's on my own, I can't. I find it extremely difficult.
Yeah.
I really love like dance practice for that reason, like where you're doing synchronized movement, like really simple things, because I get so into the fact that we're like all doing it I don't know, it's like hypnotic. Or like there's one I learned where you move your feet and your hands at the same time, and
Amazing.
you have to focus on that, otherwise you do it
Yeah.
wrong. It is like I could not do it the first time, but then like after I kept doing it, it's like you cannot think about anything else but your hands and your feet or you will slip out. And it's
Yeah.
like so good for focusing on that, and
That's
like
really
otherwise
good.
slip up.
so
I'll
could you
definitely try
actually
that.
say that? Yeah, sorry to interrupt you,
Apologies.
Anna. Go ahead.
No, no, you. I was just gonna say that. I'll try that, but yeah.
Oh, great. No, and Amethyst, I don't even know what dance practice is. So could you say a bit more about that? Sounds
Okay,
great.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's a bit woo woo, but ecstatic dance. It's like it's essentially like free dance, or like some people have heard of like five rhythms, where it's like you have like it's a bit like sober raving essentially. There's a DJ, there'll be a playlist, but there might be like a theme. Um, you know, there can be all kinds of themes, but there's loads of groups in London for this as well. But some of them are a bit more spiritual, like they'll add in mantras and like mudras. Like mudras are where
Oh,
you know do
y-
shapes with your hands, and it
yeah,
symbolizes different things. And
yeah.
yeah, so yeah, that's what I do. I trained in it as well. So yeah, but I used to just go to like essentially it was like sober raving. That's what I used to call it.
I
Oh
love
my
that. I love that. I'm
Gosh.
so glad because that's something I've like I looked into a little bit ago, and I'm in the United States, but I did find some, and I kind of like I was interested in it because I love to dance, and I'm like
Mm,
I'm in my 40s and quote unquote I'm old. I'm not old, but you know what I mean. I'm in my 40s. I'm
mm.
not going to be at the club with the 18-year-olds, but I want to dance, and I love the free dance, and it's something I was curious about because I'm really trying to get into movement for movement's sake, for pleasure, not for exercise or anything. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to you, and your we'll have your contact information as
Yes,
well.
for sure, for
Yes,
sure. Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. Gonna pass on.
Thank
There's
you.
loads of them, so I
Yeah. Well,
recommend.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Brilliant. I am definitely one to try that too. I just love
Mhm.
doing, I love to move. I can't, I struggle to stay still. I think
Me
the
too.
only time I stay still is when I'm sleeping.
That's it.
Yes, absolutely. And how has your relationship to meditation evolved, Gladys?
How is it? Oh, um, evolved in the sense that I look for it more. I would say, in the sense that I'm a lot more comfortable with it, um, and I enjoy it more. I would say I would love the dancing thing as well. By the way, but yeah, I learned to. I think my mindset around the whole idea of meditation has changed, in that I'm learning to embrace it a bit more, and yeah, try and get calmer through it and sort out my overthinking and thoughts.
Amazing. Do you know how your relationship started? How did you, or when did you start meditating? Is there a specific reason why that started?
So yeah, I think I said it earlier. I never liked things like that, meditation, going for walks, going for all those type of things for me was just like, it wasn't, yeah, it wasn't me. And so I think there was a time when I couldn't sleep at night. Like I had a bad sleep pattern. And I think I just discovered this YouTube channel which had a lot of meditation videos on it, and it's faith based as well. So it I put a couple of them on, and I just remember just going to sleep and just having like the best sleep ever, and just waking up in the best kind of mindset. And it was meditation. It was meditation. It was the waterfall. It was the talking. And these were like 8 hour videos. They were like 6 hour, 8 hour videos. So it would be on throughout the night basically. Um, and I think from that point on, yeah, I learned to enjoy it a bit more. And as time went on, I don't watch those videos anymore, but I then sought out other areas, so um, meditation apps, other videos, other channels, and other kind of and also because I don't like doing things in the traditional sense as well. So I'm always looking for
Yeah.
something that's a little bit different, a little bit out there for maybe other people. But yeah. So yeah. So the lying in the bed thing and the doing it, not necessarily sitting there, with your hands in your lap and doing this and and all that. Yeah, I like yeah. So that's me basically.
Amazing. Yeah. I like trying different things as well. I feel like we're very curious people. We have
Yeah.
curious minds, and we want to try different things that I know that are going to be good for us,
Mm,
that are going to help a well-being, that are going to help a mindset to be more calm, to be more serene, to be more present, because that's what we want. I mean, I'm a someone who had issues with anxiety disorder. Like, I'm always thinking about the future, and then thinking about the worst case scenario in the future.
yeah.
But with
Yeah.
meditation, I think what it does, it kind of grounds you and then
Mm,
brings you back to the present and lets you live in the present and just think about what's going on today, you know.
mm,
And I feel like for me, my relationship started when I was going through a very, very difficult time with my children, and um, something, well, social services was involved, and it was extremely difficult for me. I always just turn to prayer or turn to people, or turn to therapists or counseling or whatever. And then someone just said, "Why don't you try?" Because I just could not find tranquility. I was always having a panic attack. I was having anxiety disorder. I was worrying about everything and anything, and the uncertainty of things were making it even more, uh, more difficult. So one of my friends mentioned it, and they said, "Why don't you try meditation?" Because um, as part of her therapy, what's it called again? That therapy they give you, is it CBT,
CBT.
CBT,
Yeah.
CBT,
CBT.
CBT.
CBT, that's it. Cognitive behavioral therapy. She was going through that. Her therapist told her, "Why don't you try meditation? That's a way to deal with situations like that." And that's how my relationship with meditation started. Never had tried it before. I was already in my late 30s, nearly turning 40. And when I tried it for the first time, I thought people must think I'm crazy. Like, you always kind of think about, I always was very preoccupied about what other people would think, or what other people would see, or
Yeah.
my husband, for example, or my children. And then, when they saw me and I went through, I started getting into it more and more and more and doing it every day more often. And they saw how calm I became and how sort of just being present, it just brought me to the present and living the now. And that for me, I think it's one of the greatest benefits of meditation.
I resonate with that, so like so many things you said, like Anna, like because when I first came to meditation, I mean I was still like in my late teens, but like in terms of time, like people weren't talking about meditation then, so I had like all the same anxieties. I was like, what is, it felt so foreign to me at
Yeah.
that time. I wasn't, I was raised Christian, but I wasn't spiritual in any way at that time, and so like it felt really scary to to be praying. It didn't feel authentic. It
Mm.
felt like I would have been doing it because I should, and like I felt very kind of like cut off from that part of myself, but I was in a really stressful time. And so I remember going to like, I think it was like Covent Garden, and there was like some midday meditation class, and just being like, okay, I don't know what else to try. Like, let me try this. It was kind of like, I just had to. It was like something I fell into. And I remember like being told to go walk in nature and like 5 minutes in the morning, and like for years it felt really like fake. It felt like something I was
Oh,
doing for the sake of it, but then
yeah.
something shifted as I tried more different things. And
Yeah.
as you say, like you embody it and it becomes something that actually changes you, and then other people notice, and like it's authentic. It becomes authentic. I think that's like,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
big
Yeah,
change.
Absolutely.
I really relate to that, Amethyst, because that is how I came into meditation in 2009 when I joined a 12-step program and let go of addictive substances. And it was recommended to meditate, but it was that feeling of I'm doing this because I should for many years, actually. And I think there was some benefit, but it I would feel often really numb and stuck in my body. And that is also something I want to highlight for somebody, because I also have complex trauma, CPTSD. And I have heard, I am not a medical professional, disclaimer, but I have heard that if you have trauma, something like meditation can be detrimental depending on who you are in your trauma. And I'm just saying that just because for me, my experience when I first started and for many years was I was just numb in my body because I was trying to do it one way, which is quiet, no guided meditation. And even though I was in like I could be in my bed, but I was sitting up. I didn't know I had ADHD. And so it was really hard, and I hadn't done any somatic work, which I've done now to release trauma. So I was really stuck and numb in my body. And I did it because I felt like I should. And my addictions would come back if I didn't do it. So it was a lot of fear-based stuff too. And so I just say all that to say I offer compassion to my former self, my younger self. And I also say all that to say to anybody who is meditating but not feeling like they're getting a benefit, because I really thought there was one way to do it right, and I could do it this one way. But it is very much what feels good for you. And
Yeah.
I didn't, know that. And eventually I got to that place. But what feels good for you, and also if you have a trauma history, a complex PTSD or PTSD, like being still and quiet can feel really not safe. And so I just wanted to offer that there are different ways to meditate, and there's no one right way. And things didn't change for me until I started practicing self-compassion in 2023. And then in 2024, when I found the right ADHD med. But so I just wanted to offer that. And now my meditation is I call it quiet time, really, or rest time, or like Anna, you had mentioned about that feeling of this idea of like, oh, I'm thinking about my shopping list and all that stuff. For me, that's part of meditation. I just talk. I think of meditation as I'm listening to my thoughts, and whatever comes up, comes up.
Amazing.
Because I've gotten maybe this is my autistic side, but I can get very into the black and white, right or wrong, like, and I beat myself up for doing it wrong, like, oh, you're thinking about that, and it's like, I don't think that helped me. So what, even though meditate, they're like, just bring it back, but I would get very like, oh, you're doing it wrong. So now I'm just like, whatever, so I literally just meditated before this, and I was thinking about my business, I'm thinking about this, and I'm just saying hello to the thoughts in my head. And then if my divine self wants me to hear something, I'll hear it. That has helped me personally relax, because
Amazing.
I'm very high strung and anxious and like, oh my God. So I made meditation into something I was anxious about. So I
Yes.
that.
Yeah, no, 100. Like, I feel like sometimes it's just space for you. Like, I like lying down in that case, but sometimes I am the same. Like, I will use it to think about something I'm stressed out about that won't go away, but like in a peaceful space, and like feel held in that space. It's totally not about just cutting out thoughts. Yeah, I completely agree. Especially if there's trauma, reoccurring things that you struggle with. Sometimes it's just space to like rest with that and not feel bad about it.
Yes.
It's like you're welcoming your thoughts in and just saying hi.
Yeah.
It's like you're being a friend to your thoughts, which is it's a great way of looking at it as well. Yeah.
Yes. That changed things for me. The idea of welcoming my thoughts, being friends to my thoughts, because I was in this place. I said that I used to feel really numb in my body, and my thoughts were so fast. It was like, like white noise or brown. Like I couldn't. But once I started the self-compassion and eventually my meds, being diagnosed ADHD and all this stuff, like things started to slow down. And then I started welcoming my thoughts and welcoming my numb feeling. Because I would be like, am I like crazy? Like not crazy, but am I like a psychopath? Like I'm so numb.
Oh my God,
on the outside, I'm like friendly and, but on the inside, people would be like crying about their families and the world and racism. And I'm like, I care, but I don't feel anything. But I used to start welcoming my lack of feeling, my lack of thought, and being my friend. And then that started changing. I'm like, oh, there is a lot of stuff underneath, but I needed to start with being my friend first. So I just offer that to anybody that might feel like, oh, meditation, I'm bad at it, or I'm numb, I'm this weirdo. I'm a weirdo. I claim it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say that, you've talked about so many the struggles of meditation, and like how difficult it can be for various different people in different scenarios. I went to Cancun last week. Yes, I went on holiday, and it was nice, but it was also very crazy.
Cancun is like,
oh my goodness.
It's the craziest part of Mexico, like.
Oh my goodness. And I say it was crazy because there was 19 of us. There was 19 women all traveling together. Yes. And it was all different, like people. So I had like 6 of them were close friends, and all the other ones, like all the 11 other people, were people that I've seen in passing, part of my community, Latin American community, but I hadn't really spent, a lot of time with them. So like, and we were all women. And so like all these feelings and all these emotions and all these different personalities, and there were times where I just had to withdraw myself. And when you do like the disclaimer before we left, there's a lot of people in the group that obviously don't really know about my various different difficulties or challenges, I say. And I told them, look, I have ADHD, I have autistic traits, I have dyslexia, dyspraxia, and I have a lot of trouble sometimes regulating my emotions. So if you see me upset, if you see me probably quiet, or if I shut down, I just had to kind of like open it up and put it on the floor. But people just, oh yeah, that's fine because it happens to me. It's like a Me Too movement. But when it actually happens, it's like, oh wow. And then I just found that a lot of the time I had to withdraw myself. And what did I do? Meditate. Meditate. And a lot of the meditation was like, this person's so fucking stupid. I just swore. I apologize for that beforehand. But it was just like, why is this person like this? Or why is this person like that? And then I would kind of like just break it down. I'm still meditating, by the way, but I'm kind of like breaking it down. And then I would come out of this room all like, I can socialize again.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So that's as I said, I just wanted to add that as some of the struggles as well, because also the other struggle is finding time, because sometimes finding time for it, it's like we're so busy. I mean, I don't know about everybody else in the room, but I'm a mom. I work full time. I'm a wife. I've got social life. I've got my parents who I help on a regular basis. I have pets. I have projects. I just finished a master's degree, so there's a lot of stuff. I have ADHD Babes, a podcast. So finding the time is a massive struggle and a challenge, but it's so important that you do, because at the end of the day, you're kind of like giving is a gift to yourself.
Yes.
I say that you're gifting yourself, and if you're okay, then everybody else will be as well.
Exactly. And there really is no right or wrong. For some people, maybe a somatic practice is better than the actual, being quiet, or like a walking meditation practice, or just something that is just loving to you, or sitting and listening to thoughts. I know I've been harping on this, but I know we can be like this. We neurodivergents, like there is one way to meditate and there's one way and it's like, this is to serve you and to love you. So you might be like, my meditation is like, I take a bath. Great. As long as it's helping you and you're having some time with you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Gladys.
I was just going to say, even like me, I love music. I love dance, like we discussed earlier. But music particularly, even just listening to like your favorite tracks or your favorite musicians, or even listening to the same song over and over again, which I do sometimes as well. But that's all part of it as well for me. That calms me down as well. So
yes,
absolutely.
So we have addressed some of this, but I do want to just say it formally, so in case somebody is listening to the podcast and missed that some of what we were saying. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to meditate but struggles? So Amethyst, let's start with you.
Sure. Yeah, I think try lots of different things, as you're saying. Remember that it's not all like sunshine and rainbows. Like, you're a person, all kinds of stuff's going to come up, and if it doesn't, then like, what are we doing? What is it for? You're there trying to like flush things out and be with you, and you are not just one flat emotion. There's a lot. As we were saying as well, like experiment as well with like movement and sound. Be kind to yourself. It can happen really quickly. You find something, or it can be like 10 years. Yeah.
Yes.
I'd say that's it.
Yeah. Thank you, Amethyst. And Gladys, do you have anything to add?
I'd say similar to what Amethyst said. Do what feels right for you. Do some research, because there's so many different forms of meditation out there, and do what feels right for you. Don't put pressure on yourself. Take your time. If one doesn't work, try another one. If that still doesn't work, try another one. If and just keep on going until you find the right one that works for you. And just stop. Be kind to yourself again.
Thank you so much, Gladys. I really appreciate both of you saying that. Be kind to yourself, because I'm going to echo that too. Be kind to yourself. And the word meditation is just a word. So, like I said, if your meditation is I take a bath, or I do yoga, or I walk around, or I play with my pets, my dog, my cat, my bearded dragon, whatever. But your time to fill you up, and or a combination. So yes. And you don't even
Yes.
have to call it meditation. So yes.
No.
Anna, anything to add?
I would say that advise, yeah, definitely take, you know, that time out. Um, as ChiChi has just said, just reiterate that, you know, it can be anything. And it can be, we are neurodivergent people. We think differently, we see the world differently, and any new formats that come up, go ahead and try it, because it might be the perfect fit for you. And yeah, just be kind of like open-minded, I guess, to the different ways of meditation and what's out there, and try everything once. You know, you never know, you might find the right thing for you.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And I do want to add also, and if you're finding that you are really struggling, whether it's with trauma or something else, as you're attempting to try, meditate or do some other practice, I really encourage you to seek help if you're in a position, or you're in a position to be able to seek a professional and take care of yourself. There's definitely nothing wrong with seeking outside help if needed. But yes, but it's all part of being kind to yourself.
Absolutely. Well, so to recap our discussion today, we discussed how medication can help. Sorry, medication.
Well, that too.
That
Meditation.
too.
That
Didn't say no.
Oh my goodness. Me too, that again. Okay, so to recap our discussion today, we discussed how meditation can help people with ADHD. We discussed the challenges that some people may have. We also touched on how your experiences of meditation can develop, and we gave you some advice for meditation as ADHD babes.
exactly. And
Amazing.
I really loved our conversation and the discussion and the different ways we all meditate, quote unquote, or do things to be kind to ourselves. So that I really found that interesting and wonderful. And also, one thing I'll highlight, because Amethyst, you mentioned that you said you do Reiki, because energy work is also, and could be for somebody, part of the whole meditation or going within, because I also receive energy healings, and so I've received lots of energy activations and
Yeah,
energy
big
healings, and
into
it
that.
helps me so much. So another thing to talk, because I'm very woo woo. I love it. I claim it.
Yes.
Yes.
We claim it. We claim it.
Yes. So that's
we
part of it. Yes.
we
So
claim all the spies.
claim it all.
Absolutely.
And I feel
Exactly.
like
Well,
actually, like, that's a good point as well, because I think when you're experimenting with that stuff or going through that journey, things change. Like
Yes.
sometimes like what you need changes, especially when you're doing energy work. Like sometimes you need
Yes.
this, sometimes you need that, because you feel differently like through doing the work or receiving or whatever. Same as therapy. Same as
absolutely.
Exactly. Both. Yeah, exactly. And Gladys, do you have any experience with energy work or anything you wanted to add?
I can't really talk on that topic, so I have no experience. The dance, yes, I'm
Yes.
big on the dance, but with Reiki and energy work, not so much. So
Well, one thing you did mention though is you listen to faith-based meditation. So maybe you
yeah,
talk a little bit about that.
yeah. So I listen to faith-based meditation, YouTube channel basically, and it's got a whole load of just great meditation, 2 hours, 3 hours. I generally go for the 6 and 8 hours, especially like when I want to sleep and have a good night's sleep. And literally when I wake up, I just feel so relaxed. and also again like faith-based apps as well. So the YouTube channel is called I think it's called Amen. Is it called Amen? Oh, sorry, it slipped my mind. But the meditation apps is called Amen and Gratitude, and they have
Cool.
really really good 10 minutes just talking the waterfall and just the word basically.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
I have a random point. Gladys, I
Yes.
do this too to remember
What's that?
things.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I do that to remember things all the time. It's so good. Anyway, random.
I love that. I love that. No, this is wonderful. Thank you so much, Gladys and Amethyst, for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to chat and learn more about you both and your approach towards meditation. And if any of our listeners would like to connect with you, how can they get in touch? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll go first. Or I'll go first.
Yeah,
Okay,
you go
so,
first. Go first. It's fine.
You can connect with me on social media at Strength of a Queen 2 on Instagram and also TikTok.
Cool. And Amethyst.
Yeah, I have a new healing channel on Insta actually, and on TikTok. So it's Soul Bloom, SOULBLOOM .embodied. So I'm on TikTok and Insta. I do have a personal one as well, but yeah, it's Amethyst Rain, but there's some underscores in there, so maybe I can like put it in text somewhere.
Yeah, we can put it in the show notes.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Amazing. We'll add it. We'll add it in test. Definitely. Well, thanks so much for joining us for this episode, and please feel free to follow our podcast so you don't miss future episodes, and follow at ADHD Babes on socials to continue this conversation. ADHD Babes members can also join the conversation on our members only Discord and WhatsApp groups. So consider signing up and supporting us in doing more great work to support your and a wonderful community of ADHD Babes. Once again, we'd love it if you could leave us a rating and a review and let everyone know your thoughts. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
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 Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to this episode of ADHD Babes, the podcast. If you're a Black woman or non-binary person and need help and support in managing your ADHD or advice on diagnosis, please visit adhdbabes.com. No clinical diagnosis is required to join. Join us in 2 weeks for a new episode. Until then, all the love from the ADHD Babes team.
Just as I am, can you take me just as I am?